Hello everyone, welcome you all in our engineering chemistry session. In our today's session, we are going to discuss about the methods for prevention of corrosion. Under this, we will study the three methods. First one is proper designing and selection of material. Second is modifying the environment. And third one is application of inhibitors. So at the end of this session, you will be able to suggest the methods for corrosion control under certain conditions. So there are actually 5 methods for the corrosion control. So we are going to discuss only the first 3 in today's module, and the next are cathodic and anodic protection and application of protective coatings. So let us start with the first one, proper designing and selection of material. So as while studying the factors affecting rate of corrosion, we have discussed that the 2 important factors are there, nature of metal and nature of environment, which decides the rate of corrosion. Okay, so in that the nature of metal factor is the most important, and in which the designing of that metal as well as the selection of that metal is most important. Okay, so which are the principles to be taken under consideration while selecting the design as well as material. So let us start the discussion. The first one, that whenever we want to select the metals for the applications, at that time we need to avoid the direct contact of 2 dissimilar metals in the presence of electrolyte. So why this is so? As we discussed, the wet corrosion, or which is known as electrochemical corrosion. So it occurs when there is formation of either galvanic cell or concentration cell. So if 2 dissimilar metals come in contact in presence of electrolyte, it will lead to the formation of galvanic cell and there will be the severe corrosion. So we need to avoid the direct contact of 2 dissimilar metals. Then second is anodic metal should have larger area and cathodic metal should have smaller area. This also we have discussed in the factors affecting rate of corrosion. So if the cathodic area is larger, then anodic reaction will get promoted. Okay, rate of anodic reaction will get enhanced if cathodic area is more, and because of this reason we need to take in consideration that cathodic metal should have smaller area, whereas anodic metal should have larger area. Then anodic and cathodic metal should be as close as possible to each other in electrochemical series. So what it indicates? We also have discussed electrochemical series. In electrochemical series, the metals are arranged according to their standard oxidation or reduction potentials. Okay, so the metals at the top of electrochemical series are more anodic and get corroded, whereas the metals at the bottom of series that are noble and get protected, acting as a cathode. Now if you are going to select these metals, okay, for its application, so 2 different metals are there, then that should be more close to each other. Suppose you are taking iron and copper, so there is less difference in their electrode potential. But if you take the zinc and copper, so in between that iron is there, so what it indicates, that difference is more. So in case of zinc and copper, there will be severe corrosion of zinc as compared to the iron and copper. So we have to select the metals, anodic as well as cathodic, that should be closer to each other, so that there will be less difference in their electrode potential. Okay. The next is an insulating fitting may be applied in between the 2 metals. So why to apply the insulating fitting? So that there will not be the formation of electrochemical cell, means there will not be the direct contact of metal with each other, and it will avoid the formation of anode, cathode and electrochemical cell. Okay. The next is anodic metal should not be painted or coated when it is in contact with the cathodic metal. So what it indicates? Suppose iron plate is taken and this iron plate is painted by using the color or paint. Okay. And it is in contact with the small pieces of the copper. Okay. Now if this paint from the iron plate is removed, if this paint from this anodic metal, that iron, is removed, then what will happen? At only small area it will be removed. Okay. So that smaller area will act as a anode. Why? Because it is uncoated, it is exposed to the atmosphere. So that iron will act as anode, your copper will act as a cathode, and that will increase the corrosion. So anodic metal should not be painted or coated. If that coating or paint get removed, then it will leads to the severe corrosion. Then sharp corners and recesses should be avoided in the structure. So why to avoid this? Because it may leads to the localized corrosion. Okay. As we discuss about the uneven surfaces. So uneven surface, that will increase the rate of corrosion. The next is design should be free from crevices or cleft. Okay, so that is also related with the physical state of metal. So if design is having some crevices or cleft, then it will lead to increase in the rate of corrosion. Then equipment should be supported on legs for free circulation of air. So you might have observed at your home, we all are using the LPG cylinder for the cooking purpose. Okay, LPG gas cylinder. So if we are not using the stand for that, it is directly placed on the tiles. Then after few days, if you keep it aside on that particular place where it was kept, that brown colored circle will get formed. So this, as like this brownish circle formation is there. So it is the rust, because this part of the cylinder will get corroded, and because of that, that brown rust will form. But if you keep this cylinder on the stand, then there will not be the corrosion of that bottom part of the cylinder, because there is a free circulation of air. So if no free circulation, then it will cause the corrosion. But if that free circulation is there, then it will avoid the corrosion. And for that purpose, that cylinder or any instrument or any assembly, that should be kept on the stand, so that there will be free circulation of air and it will not cause the corrosion. Then moisture should be excluded from the atmosphere. Okay. Suppose in a particular room, you have kept your instruments, okay, which are metallic instruments, and in that there is a moisture, then automatically day by day that instrument undergoes corrosion. Slowly, but it will undergo corrosion. So you have to make that particular room free from the moisture. Means you need to remove the moisture from the atmosphere so that the corrosion will not occur. So all this is about the proper designing and selection of the material. Now the second method to control the corrosion is modifying the environment. So modifying the environment means what? You have to modify the environment either by removal or by the addition of chemical substances to the environment. So we know which factors that increases the rate of corrosion. Okay. So we need to consider these factors, and as per that we need to modify the environment. For example, suppose in acidic medium, rate of corrosion is too rapid. Okay. So you have to change that environment from acidic to neutral or alkaline. In this way we have to modify the environment. So let us see one by one. The first one is deaeration. Deaeration means what? That is removal of oxygen. So the main corrosion causing environmental gas is oxygen. So we need to remove the oxygen by heating the corroding medium. Then second is deactivation. So by addition of certain chemical substances, this oxygen can be deactivated. How? Suppose you add sodium sulfide. Then this sodium sulfide will get reacted with this oxygen to form the sodium sulfate. Or the sodium sulfide that reacts with the oxygen, that also leads to form the sodium sulfate. So this hydrogen that also get reacted with the oxygen to form this H2 and N2. So what happens? This oxygen which is free and lead to the corrosion, that will get combined with the another molecule. Now it is not free for the corrosion. Okay. So in this way deactivation can be done. The next factor is dehumidification. Dehumidification, that means removal of moisture. So you have to remove the moisture from the surrounding of the metal structure by keeping either the silica gel or alumina. So this silica gel or alumina is able to absorb the moisture, and thus that metal structure will get free from the moisture or humid atmosphere. Then next is alkali neutralization. Okay. So acidic corroding medium is neutralized by the addition of bases such as potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide or liquor ammonia. So these are the basic substances or alkaline substances. So by the reaction of these alkaline substances with the acidic corroding medium, there is formation of neutral compound. So it will also carry out the change in the environment and it will becomes inert environment. Okay, so it will avoid the corrosion. Now the third method of corrosion control is application of inhibitors. So do you understand the meaning of inhibitor? Inhibitor means it inhibits or it suppresses the rate, okay, of any reaction. Now in corrosion, suppose we consider wet corrosion, okay. So which reactions occurs? There is formation of one anode, another is cathode, okay, and electrolyte is there. So at anode there is oxidation, at cathode there is a reduction. So we have to use the inhibitors which suppress the rate of anodic reaction and cathodic reaction, so that the corrosion rate will get decrease and we can control the corrosion. So as per this, there are two types of inhibitors, anodic inhibitor and cathodic inhibitor. So inhibitor are the substances which on addition will inhibit either anodic or cathodic reaction. So anodic inhibitor is the substance which suppress the anodic reaction, whereas cathodic inhibitor is the substance which suppress the cathodic reaction. Now how this anodic inhibitor suppress anodic reaction? So it will form a thin but protective film on the anodic metal. So as we know, on anode there is oxidation, but it forms the protective film on the surface of anodic metal and it will seal off the anodic region. So there will not be the oxidation reaction and thus there will not be the chances of cathodic reaction. So you can control the corrosion. So these inhibitors generally are tungstate, phosphates, chromates, and this inhibits anodic reactions. Now the second is cathodic inhibitor. So cathodic inhibitor suppress the cathodic reaction. Which are the cathodic reaction? Reduction, by which means either hydrogen evolution or oxygen absorption. So these cathodic inhibitors forms a thin but protective film on the surface of cathodic metal. So these also seal off the cathodic region. So the cathodic inhibitors used are thioureas, mercaptans, heavy metal soaps, etc. Okay. Then also the heterocyclic nitrogen compounds acts as cathodic inhibitors. So it suppresses the cathodic reactions that are hydrogen evolution and oxygen absorption. So this is all about the first three methods of corrosion control, that are proper designing and selection of material, second is modifying the environment, and third one is a application of inhibitors. Now the next is cathodic and anodic protection, that we will continue on in our next session. Bye for now. Thank you.